here's what I'm going to say about becoming a fighter pilot in today's world. This goes against my better judgment because we just talked about why I may or may not be able to talk about stuff because of ongoing whatever. And a lesser man probably would be telling people not to do this. But, I believe in the mission and I believe in the people that sent me this. So it's call sign Yeti. He's actually the guy. I've told this story before. My first flight in the F-16, I did not bring a pedal pack because I wasn't really thinking I needed a pedal pack. And I hydrated like a lot because I'm like, I'm not going to G-lock on this thing. We were doing surface attack and we got to take off. And I said, hey, Yeti. He's like, what's up, man? I said, you got a pedal pack up there? He goes, no. I said, oh, boy. Oh, and so the rest of the flight, I had to pee so bad. Like I thought I gave myself cancer. Like, I mean, it was bad. And so, but Yeti was such a great dude, and I was one of my favorite instructors, and I've kept in touch with him, and now he's part of this Air Force Reserve program. And he said, hey, Mover, we've tried to streamline this program, and they're working on it. They're making it better. It's going to get better every single time. They're trying to make it like a one-stop shop, and they've teamed up with Mill Recruiter, which is a spinoff, I think, of Bogey Dope. Those guys are pretty cool too.
Yep.
So they've taken the undergraduate flight training guidebook and made it a website, which I used to kind of half-ass do this on my own, not for money. I spent my own money and got nothing out of it for the makethemtellyouno.com because I was just trying to answer some of the frequently asked questions. Well, they went and did it. And so you've got this website now. So if you're wanting to be a fighter pilot and you're like, I don't know how to start.
In the Air Force.
In the Air Force Reserve, not the Guard, even though Mill Recruiter does do the Guard too. In the Air Force Reserve, here it is. And it'll tell you everything you've ever wanted to know and more, like general aviation, right? AFREC has all of these. Pilots, CISO, RPA pilots, air battle managers. It'll tell you eligibility. This is important. Don't self-eliminate, but hey, take a look at what you need, okay? Okay, 33rd birthday. 40th if you want to fly RPAs. Gawky. Oh, wait, we're both
sorry.
Damn it.
Sorry, dude.
We almost made it.
Story of my life.
So here's the test. Here's how to schedule the test. Here's more information. It is complete with links and everything. Like it gives you all of the information you could ever want. Reserve service commitment. This one's important. People don't know, right, what your reserve service commitment is. So it's 10 years and 6 years for if you're going to be a NAV, ABM, RPA pilot. You also have a reserve service commitment just for graduating OCS. So if you wash out, you still have a commitment, but there's a way to do that. And then there's sponsorship. There's two ways to go, sponsored and unsponsored. It tells you how to do it. Go to create a free account. It doesn't cost you anything. Go to millrecruiter.com. You can then send it gives you all that information. Here's how you do your application. And this is what I'm pushing. And I've talked to them about this before. That's a lot of BS right here. My hope and goal is for them to standardize it across every unit in Air Force Reserve Command. I want them to go, hey, I've created an application, just like when you do pilot credentials for the airlines, right? You do one app, you're done for the most part. You create this app, you shotgun it to all the units, or you go unsponsored. Here you go. I'm selected, I'm qualified. But here's how you create your application. I will say under the current system, if you are aspiring, read this, do what they say, do it exactly as they say, because it's attention to detail. You won't be selected if it looks like you're half-assing something because you thought you could do it better. And then selection boards. It even tells you, here's when the selection boards are out. Here's when it's open. So what is it? We've got the next one. There's ROTC. So ROTC cadets could even come to the Air Force Reserve Command if you don't want to be active duty and you're in ROTC now. 11 October would be the next one. 10 January. After that, 10 April, etc. Training pipelines. This explains kind of the process. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to officer training school. You're going to go to IFT. You're going to go to SEER. It's going to hurt. You're going to go to undergraduate flying training, whether that's UPT, UCT, URT, UABM.
Is that guy playing DCS?
Who?
Sorry.
No, that's pilot training now. That's how pilot training is. It's 2.5 or whatever.
Sorry.
UPT 2.69. formal training unit. You're going to do mission training. You're going to do operational flying. Here are the pay statuses. You can be an AGR, which is full-time reservist on active duty orders, active guard reserve. I had this question in the old Make Them Tell You No forums. AGR is not a whole separate, he thought it was a separate like service. He's like, I want to go AGR. It's like, oh no, that's just a pay status, dude. That's what you are, not who you are. Air Reserve Technician, where you're a GS. Traditional reservists like Gonki and myself, where you do other stuff, which we have a question about that here in a second. Individual reserve, which is where they wanted to fire me to. And
I've been in there.
Yeah.
I've been in the old IR.
The IRR, if you will. Civil path to wings, that's the option. I don't know a thing about this. It's usually for heavies. I think that's really the only way you can do it. Yeah, it's a T1 thing. Sounds scary to me. And then here's how you do it if you do ROTC for the RCP and stuff. So go to Mill Recruiter, set up your profile, read this, get yourself familiar with it. Don't ask dumb questions. Do your homework. But if you still have a question, Make Them Tell You No Facebook group. We got a bunch of dudes. I rarely post because people help each other. And that's what I want them to do. I don't want to be the one answering all the questions because most of my stuff's outdated anyway. But help each other.
This is good. This website's good, man. But
hell yeah,
there's people who are like living the pipeline now that can provide valuable real time. Because things change, right? So,
yep,
yeah.
All right, reattacks on that. Any questions?
So much more info, man, than in the 90s.
I'll tell you what. I had baseops.net. That's the only reason I became a fighter pilot the way I did, because if I hadn't had the guy that goes, hey, here's the DO's number, it's T-Bear's number. Here's T-Bear's number at the 706 Fighter Squadron, I'd have been lost. I didn't know. Dude. I just cold called him. And I cold called him as a student hire and said, hey, I'm going to Tulane. Want to be a fighter pilot? What you got? And it just so happened that T-Bear was like, well,
yeah.
Thanks, T-Bear. Without that, because I went to the Air National Guard and, I sat in the squadron commander's office and he goes, well, you're going to have to enlist. I want you to enlist right now. And I'm like, sir, I'm on a scholarship. I don't know how to do that. He's like, you're going to have to enlist.
Yeah.
And if you don't enlist, you're not going to get a pilot. I'm like,
I got the
It just got lucky. Speech. Yeah, it just got lucky. So there's unlimited amounts of information at your fingertips. Here's a new thing. And Afric is trying to make it even easier for you. I sound like this is an infomercial, but I believe, here's the thing I'll say. It's awesome the first 10 years.
Yep.
It's awesome the first 10 years.
Second 10.
1000%, you will find no better flying in the world than flying a military aircraft for your country. But on the flip side of that, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, not to just fly, but to serve your country.
Yep.
That's it.
Don't be selfish. Don't be a douche.
Don't be a douche, as Deuce says.